Just one other thing on Harris's first major decision as the anointed candidate, and that's the pick of Walz as her vice president. I signed a letter today with 50 other House veterans denouncing his lies about his service. I want to be very clear. I know I served in the National Guard for 22 out of the 27 years I served in the military. I know many people that for whatever reason never went to combat, served proudly. I'm proud of their service. He should be proud of his service. He says he's proud of his service. Why do you have to lie about it? Why do you have to exaggerate it? I don't know. I wish, again, he would sit down with you, all the media, and answer those questions. But here's the thing. Anybody here go to Harvard or Yale, to an Ivy League? Good. But there you go. Let me ask you this. If you attend for a few years, maybe you were there on the Yale campus, you took some classes, you can say, I went to Yale for a few years, but you don't get to say, I graduated from there. You didn't do what it took to graduate from there. Well, yeah, he was a sergeant major for a few months, but he didn't do what you have to sign on the dotted line in terms of the schooling and the time in service to retire at that rank. I retired as a colonel. I'm proud of that. I'm not pretending I retired as a general. Why is he exaggerating his record? He did not retire as a command sergeant major. And for those of you, this rank, that rank, it is a very big deal in the enlisted ranks. It is a seminal and big difference between master sergeant to command sergeant major, just as it is from colonel to general. So we have a person that is a heartbeat away. That is probably the only person who would have military experience in the room with the commander-in-chief that right out the gate lied about his service for political gain. Number one. And number two, he repeatedly and on the record implied and certainly did not correct hundreds of reports that he served in combat. Of course, Operation Enduring Freedom was broader than Afghanistan. But most people assume you served in Afghanistan when they say Operation Enduring Freedom, and in many cases said he served there, and said he served in Iraq, and he did nothing to correct it for years and years and years, and is doing nothing now to correct it. And then finally, I was the commander of a unit in the National Guard, of Green Berets in the reserve component. When we were called, of course, we had, I've had in my time soldiers that had issues that maybe couldn't go, whether they were professional, personal, or what have you. But as the commander and the command sergeant major, when you take that command, you're going when called. You lead your men and women in combat, and you certainly don't shirk away for political gain. So for those who are saying he didn't know, I have never seen anyone in less than a year not know they were going. The official orders may not come until a few months out, but you have to know. You need the training, you need the ranges, you need the ammunition, you need to get your people ready. Many of these units are undermanned, and they transfer people in, and your employers need to know. Nobody gets a snap notice and goes in just a few months. It's not how it works, and he knows that. And his commanding officer knows that and has said it on the record, and the command sergeant major that replaced him knows and said it on the record. So he needs to come clean is the bottom line. And one other thing that I think is incredibly important to point out, he was the ranking member of the Veterans Affairs Committee. One of the seminal and most important things Donald Trump did for the veterans community was give them choice in their health care. It's called the VA Mission Act. So if you have to travel too far to a VA hospital, they don't have the care that you need or the specialty that you need, or the wait list is too long, you now, thanks to the bill signed by President Trump, you now can just go to your local provider. Veterans have been asking for it for decades. It's common sense. It makes sense. It's still billed to the VA, but they can go get the health care that they need. It was the most important legislation for the veterans community in decades. You know who voted against it? Walz did. Hold them accountable for it. Ask them why. I'd love to know. I think the veterans community would love to know. We're not going to let them get away with